just wanted to ask you about some stuff you did that was really important after you retired. Now, I know back in 2007, you filed a lawsuit against the NFL Players Association on behalf of over 2,000 retired players, contending that the union failed to actively pursue marketing deals on you guys' behalf with video games, trading cards, etc. How was that lawsuit resolved, and were you happy with the resolution?
Well, let me just say this. Gene Upshaw was the president of the NFLPA, and Gene Upshaw also played back in the day because he played in Super Bowl II, and we beat the Raiders 33-14. And, like he's one of us. So when Gene Upshaw got to be the president of the NFLPA, he changed our union to an association, which it is now. It's the National Football League Players Association. Back in the day when we first started, it was the Players Union. So when Upshaw got in there and he saw all the money and everything involved, and then greed set in for him. So in my opinion, he hijacked our union, changed it to an association, and decided he was going to go along with all the active players because he said that's who was paying him his money, and he turned against all the retired guys, except for the guys he handpicked and chose. There's some of those guys that he handpicked and chose were the high-profile guys like Mike Dicker, Joe Montana, high-profile guys on TV, Dan Dierdorf, you name these guys, and he sent everything their way as far as endorsements. The rest of us, including some of his teammates, he said, like the hell with these guys. They finished, they're over, referred to us as dogs and unmarketable, useless. I'm talking about the great Johnny Unitas. And, some of these guys were turned down for disability and everything else, and they could have lived longer and more productive lives if they had gotten a disability attention and good pensions, and Upshaw blocked all of this. Now, I got involved with the lawsuit because I had signed an agreement with the NFLPA, and they refused to pay me because I was griping about the lousy pension. And not only me, but a lot of guys. There's 200 guys, including myself, 50 Hall of Famers that get less than $200 a month on a pension.
Wow.
Because Upshaw went in, and when he changed it over to association from a union, well, it gave him the authority to change the bylaws and do whatever he wanted to.
Wow.
So he changed everything around to freeze out the retired guys. So I said, well, I'm going to get involved with this lawsuit and sue him and the NFLPA for using our names, likeness, image, which they're still doing, because every time you see these old films, NFL films during this Super Bowl week, and they show the old Packers and stuff, well, somebody's making money from that, but they still don't give us a dime, and their lawsuits going on now.
Even on the video games, they have like legendary teams that you can pick. So
all that stuff is EA Sports. Yeah. So in 2007, February 14th, we filed a lawsuit in New York, Manhattan, downtown, against the NFLPA. And his lawsuit went on for about, almost 3 years and thousands of documents. And I was the class rep for 2,074 guys. 12 guys opted out. The 12 guys that opted out was Gene Upshaw's cronies. They were being paid by Gene Upshaw for endorsements, so they opted out and said, look, we can't sue the NFLPA, and we're making thousands of dollars. So they opted out. So it ended up being 2,062 guys that I represented in this lawsuit. And after 2.5 years of documents back and forth, the trial started in San Francisco in 2009, and it lasted about 3.5 weeks. It was a federal judge, Judge Alsop, and then there was a federal jury, 8 women and 2 men. And we heard all of, the documents and why we shouldn't get paid by this. They had 12 lawyers in the room the whole time. I'm talking about the NFLPA. And they referred to us as dogs, said we were unmarketable, that we was useless. And they were trying to convince the jury of all this. The jury sitting there listening, and I'm sitting there, I'm saying, my goodness. And plus they had some guys that played during my time that came up and testified against us and saying, they're right, we're not nothing. And I'm saying, how could they do this? So anyway, the jury didn't go for it, and they ended up awarding us $28.1 million.
Wow.
And we made the settlement June the 5th, 2009, in D.C. for $26,250,000. And what happened was that money was distributed and divided among the 2,062 players. So all of us got a piece of money out of the whole thing. And that was the first time. It was a historic lawsuit. It was the first time ever that anyone who filed a lawsuit against them and won the case.
It's the war room with 5 nights at the round table, 5 Philly guys diversified and